Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hello everyone and welcome to today's rescheduled event for website reviews. So if you want to have your website reviewed today, we're going to take a look at it. Just fill out the form below if you want to have it reviewed in the future. And if we have time today, we might even have a little moment to actually look at some more websites. We already have 3 on the schedule, so we'll take a look at those today. But again, if you want your website reviewed in the future, please fill out that form in the description and you'll be able to be on our list. It's first come, first serve typically, but hey, if we have any time left today, we might be able to jump in and take a look at your website. So we're going to get started in just a moment. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. We'll take a look at it as we go. And of course, feel free to take a look at the websites. What we're doing today is, website reviews is a great time to review what everyone else is doing in terms of like clientele. And it's a great way for us to learn, both pro and cons of what the website might be doing and how you might even be able to improve your website itself. So I'm going to give people some time to get settled in and then we'll get started. All right, we got our websites loaded, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let me go ahead and switch over to that. And again, if you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. I'll take a look at it as we go. Let's get started. Okay, our first website. Make sure the audio's set. Okay, good. All right, our first website for today is Gioli. I'll say Gioli. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Photography. So let's go through it. Got this rollover effect. It's kind of nice at the start. Pretty cool. Knoxville, those areas. Welcome. Nice little welcome message. Nice little booking. We can see the blog, recent blogs, which is good, showing that you are concurrent. That's a great way to show people that you are doing things, staying busy. Nice little effects, nice little call to action here. Got a big separation here. I might just bring that up just a little bit or add some space directly here. Want to make sure that there's enough space because you see this great space here, but then we come here and there's a little bit of space and then gray space here. So it kind of make sure that they match in terms of stylics choices. So good bit of information here. It's a lot of information here. What we would call a wall of text. So we already have one right here and then it's divided. I definitely would add some type of element here if you want to keep this part of it. Either A, shorten it down or have like a visual component to it. So, add a photograph, add multiple photographs, break it up. You can have like image here on this side and then on that side over here you could have some text, scroll down and then vice versa. You could have the image on this side and then the text on that side and then to the ready in book. I think that will just make it a little bit more engaging because when I come here, we have seen just how people drop off websites. And typically it's because there's no visual component to it. People respond to visual components 80% more. So when they see a wall of text, people have a difficulty just in reading itself, and our attention spans have gotten worse over time. So we'll see here, people will skip right over this. So it's good to have a visual component if this is important to the actual website and what you're trying to convey across. So I definitely would make sure that either reduce the amount of text on this and then just add an image anyway, because we have a lot of space without any imagery. And then we have this huge drop off down here that goes at the bottom. I definitely think you're trying to do some SEO little elements, which is fine. Just be aware that if you already have it here, it's already here. You don't have to do it twice. Why do we do this? Well, because the more you do it, the more Google is aware of these types of issues. Google is very intelligent, and I've been teaching this for the last decade. The reason why we make the choices we make now versus what we did over 20 plus years ago, like this would be a 20 plus year ago solution. I want Google to know that I do multiple locations. Well, it's smart enough to know that already, based on what single location you put it at now. So this is something that you need to be aware of. This can be considered black hat SEO, and it might even hurt you in the long run when it comes to that, because now it's reading this multiple times and it's thinking, why are they telling me this multiple times? Are they trying to trick me? Are they trying to rank better? Well, I won't let them rank better because of that. What they're looking for in ranking purposes is actual engagement. And what do I mean by engagement? How long someone sits on a page. Like, we've been on this page for a while, right? So right now, if Google is tracking this information that we're doing, almost like with a stopwatch, it's thinking, okay, this person's been on this homepage for over 5 minutes. Okay, this page must rock. I'm going to show this page to more people. And that's what you want at the end of the day, yes. But if it starts to notice little things like that, then it's saying, hey, this person's trying to trick me to get on there. So you don't necessarily need this part. You could just end with this ready to book, and I think you'd be fine, because you already have it down here in your footer anyway, so it's going to be on every single page. So just consider those things going through. You don't need to tell Google where you're at all the time, because guess what? It's going to know it anyway based on certain, if you say it once or twice versus multiple times. And you have it on nearly every photo anyway for alt text. So just something to consider, okay? All right, let's jump over to our next page over here, mini sessions. I definitely would make sure that this text is visible. It's hard to see. Google also doesn't like that as well. We want to make sure that it is got a rollover effect. Maybe put a color behind it, which you can. You can change the overlay color from white to some other color that you might like. Maybe even this teal tone that you have. You might be able to utilize it there. Or I would definitely make sure that this grayed out whitish title effect is in a darker tone. Now we start to see some mixing and matching. I see a dark blue. We haven't seen that much on the page before. It looks like there's some elements blending into here. Definitely try to make sure there's a consistency factor to it all. Otherwise, it might look like something might be wrong with the website. You don't want to scare people off thinking well, all of a sudden these colors don't match what I assumed I was on a website for. So there's a lot of blue here. I'm guessing you took it from a pre-designed page, but you didn't modify the colors to match your branding. Even the buttons look a little bit larger than usual, font choices, things like that. So be considerate about that. If you need help with that stuff, always reach out to our team. Our team can assist you right away with those changes. Because I can see you added the teal behind this, but I definitely would make sure that your title effects and all the rest of the colors are also matching. Same rollover effect. Definitely have the same recommendations for that. Just going forward. Looks good. Not too bad. Yeah, I love that. Nice little personality in there. Looks good. Yeah, that's basically it I see on this page. Make sure that the colors match your branding. Next page. Got that blue again. Might have even copy paste. Yeah, looks like it. Nothing wrong with that, but just be considerate of those changes if you want to make sure, because this type of blue feels alien to the rest of the website's branding. So if that's a part of a blue that you want to have a part of your branding, I definitely recommend adding it there. But right now it looks like this greenish teal and pink and a silver tone would be what I would consider to be your branding. Same advice on all these pages because they're all going to be consistently the same style of page, but I definitely would recommend those changes as we go through. Just consider that for all your pages. Update those colors and such. And then we have a different shade of blue here. It's like more of a navy blue. And then we have here a button that has text that we can't see. We need to fix that. Then we have a new blue with a rollover effect with some text rolling off. You might want to consider shortening your text or changing the layouts. And again, that blue tone. And also your button here, might want to consider making those quick changes as well. Overall, it's got some nice elements, but this new blue is kind of different from all the other blues, so it's kind of being introduced here. We want to make sure it's consistent with your branding. Again, if you need help, reach out to our team. We'll be able to help you, okay? Different levels of, all caps, no caps. Try to be consistent in those factors. Mommy, me, tulips. Okay. Darker teal might be better there. It gets a little lost on that white. So you got some upcoming mini sessions. When I click here, where does it take me to? It takes me to Calendly. Okay. So consideration for this page, just be consistent with a lot of things. I definitely don't have too much, to say about this section here, except that I think it looks pretty good. I just would maybe pull up these upcoming ones a little bit higher so people could see them. They got to scroll halfway through near the bottom of the page to actually see upcoming events. So if these are upcoming ones, let's make it a little bit higher, and then you can have this information tucked underneath. All right, let's jump over to see my work. Okay, so we'll do it this style. Very cool. What would I change? I think we got some interesting, like this section looks good. Got this nice cut through cross. We have a gray that you can remove. I don't think you need this gray color. Kind of looks off. And then gray color here looks off. I would, if you want to keep that teal color, change this to white maybe, have that, and then change this to that teal color, and then change the senior to white so it has kind of a banding effect, or reverse it otherwise. Make this maybe gray then otherwise, because right now it just seems a little odd with that shape here. It just feels disconnected. I like the way it's laid out though. I like how you can come to one page and see the different styles of photography. Something you could do is add at the top of the page here, choose your style of photography, and then you could create anchor links. So when people click, boom, down to children if they want to see children, down to mini sessions if they want to be mini sessions, and seniors and so forth. Just to make it a little bit easier and more user-friendly. Okay, when we're looking at the blog, let's see what we got. A lot of recent stuff, so that's good. Let's see what you recently posted. Definitely add a visual component to this, because right now it's just walls and walls of text, and it's a long scroll of text. So you got your visual component here, all the way tucked at the bottom. People might not make it that far, so definitely try to intersperse some images here and there, just to keep it interesting. Let's check the next one. I'll probably put you don't have to put a lot of images, but if there's 9 sections, you should at least have 3 images, right? Try to balance it. And then everything's tucked here at the bottom. I do like the ideas that you got going on. I think these are really cool. Definitely use buttons more. You got this. keep an eye out for reach here. You don't need that colon. You can just keep it that. And then add a call to action at the very bottom. And guess what? You can add one up in here too. You got regular and full family sessions here, but guess what? Add a button. People might not know to click here to trigger to go somewhere else, okay? Be careful if this white on this teal is very, it's like if you put yellow and white together, sometimes they can be difficult to read. Same thing here. It's hard to, that call to action kind of gets lost. All right, and you have a booking button. The only way you can get to the booking button looks like if it's like a call to action versus being up in here or maybe down here. So let's just make sure, if you want to, add it up to here, because you can add up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We typically say 7 is pretty good, so you can add one more here. Let's check out the booking page. Okay, so got this little option, choose which they want. Got a little slideshow, so if I choose mini, it triggers to Calendly, can never say it, Calendly. Okay, and then you can book directly from there. Okay, I mean, I think it's very straightforward. I definitely would just make sure that's more visible up here in the menu so people can find it. People might miss, anything, and it's always good to have it in multiple sections. Don't be afraid to tell people what you want at the end of the day, because people get lost. People go down this, and that's it, and we see it, like, this will be the most clicked thing, then these will be, and then it slowly drifts off. So what's the most important things? We tell people core pages are going to be your home page, about page, and contact page, and then every page after that. So any, galleries, investment pages, etc. And your blog is going to be vital to SEO. So think about how to utilize each, pillar as fit. So some things I definitely would recommend is, making sure that you get the consistent look that you like. I like the way this looks. I think you can make this visual component the rest of the pages, because right now this feels alien to that if you want to keep that consistency. Or if you do want to keep this style, make sure that it feels connected to this style. Excuse me. Because this feels very different from one another in terms of like visual branding and everything else. And we want to make sure that it stylistically feels the same throughout. So definitely want to make sure that you make those modifications there. Make sure that your buttons have proper colors on them. Make sure certain colors are more visible. And when it comes to this stuff, just make it a little bit more user-friendly. You can add those, like I said, those anchor links that can just drop down there. If you need help with that, our team can definitely assist you with that. It's really easy to do, though. In terms of blogging, make sure, don't be afraid to add more call to actions and more pictures to break up long sections of text. Because I see all this and I'm just kind of like, okay. But then I get here, I'm like, oh, now I'm interested, if that makes sense. It's just how people process stuff. The more visual elements added to it, the more likely someone's going to interact with it. So don't be afraid to show your work off, okay? Yeah, and if you have any more questions, you can feel free to reach out to us. Our team is always here to help you. And yeah, after this, you can always reach out to me too. All right, let's jump over to our next website. This is Williams & Associates, Professional Photography. We got this big collage at the top. This pictorial, okay. Multiple collages, different styles. So what we got here is, we kind of got a little bit of everything. So this is cool. I like the beginning of it where we see the different styles of photography that you offer. I like this little section here for information that you do aerial and drone photography services. I would love to see like that element kind of blended here somewhere. I think that would be really nice. We'll make sure that you have an image long enough that fits this little box area. Otherwise it kind of feels a little off-centered. Then you get this nice section here. I would add a call to action that drives into the next location you want them to go to. Don't be afraid to take people on the ride. You are the navigator, you are the director of your website, okay? This section looks good. It's kind of ends. I definitely don't think you need this photo here. I would just remove it. I would just cap it here. I think you could just end it with stay up to date with newsletter. It just feels a little leftovers at the bottom. We don't want that. And then it just goes right into the footer. So I think that looks good that way. But this section here, this and that, just feels a little bit leftovers. Let's just trim that. Let's jump over to the About Us. Okay, got some cool little information about you. Got this nice little section here. Nice balance. Love the FAQ. That looks nice and clean. Contact me today. Yeah, perfect ending. Nice balance. Not a lot of clutter on the page, so it feels clean and easy to read. Yeah, I like this page a lot. I think you're doing well with it. I like the call to action here. I like the FAQ there. And then you have a option for communications down there. I think this page is really good. Let's jump over here. Got this large portraits. Scroll here. Okay. And you have the little more in a book now. So something I would do to make this page a little bit more driven for people to take a look at it will be adding some information. So what you can do is add some details, like, you know, what type of portraits are we taking? Obviously they're like children or school portraits. So you need to give the X and, you know, the X factor of why people should book you for, in your location, your type of photography, your school photography. Why should they make you their school portraiture? You know, those are the things that you want to add those details to, because guess what? Google's going to read that page. And once Google picks it up, when people are searching for school photography in your location, which I got to figure out where it's at, right now, there we go, Memphis, Tennessee, you want to make sure those elements are coming across to the clientele, because they're the ones that's going to be watching it, looking for it, and searching for it. And if that page isn't written with SEO in mind, it's going to be hard for it to really be picked up on the radars. So definitely add like a little element right below here. You don't have to put it at the top. Some people think you have to put that information at the top. You do not. You can put it right here before you get to the booking section. You can add a little bit of information about like why they should book with you. You know, what's the difference that you're going to make for them. You can even put some pricing information, investment information there as well. It's really up to you. But just think of each page as a landing page opportunity. And I'm pretty sure that these are going to be all similar and consistent, which is good. But I'm going to have the same recommendations for that page as well. Same recommendation for this page as well. And more than likely for family and groups as well. So just think about that. You know, people searching for family and group photography for events, you know, in the Tennessee area. These are things that I definitely would recommend making sure for each page that you have that type of details written there, because otherwise it just says book now, and it's not really telling people what this page is. Yeah, even this one just says, you know, family gallery. So, but it's a little bit more than family. It looks like it's more events, family and events. Yeah. Okay. Let's jump over to the events page itself. Now this is standing out differently. This looks like a little bit more branded corporate events. So this is some details you can write into there about it. So definitely would recommend, again, more details on these pages about the why, the who, what, when, where, and why, versus just, ta-da, this is what I do. Because this isn't really showing up in Google that way. And you want people to find you, right? So let's make sure that it's there. Let's go to your blog post. You have a non-active blog. These are some placeholder ones. I definitely would just remove the blog if you're not utilizing it. I definitely recommend using the blog because it's just going to help you in search. So for now, I would just hide this page, and I might do that for you after this so you don't have this showing up, because this can look bad to potential customers, like, hey, is something wrong with this website? Is he incomplete? Does he not work anymore? You know, so these are things that you need to consider when it gets out there to the public eye. Okay? Okay. Good ending. And then let's see, you got headshots. Yeah, you just call it that. You call it executive here, you call it headshots down there. Hey, whatever you want to, but I definitely recommend Adding that SEO potential written text on those pages, I think it would be a lot better. Remove the blog or hide the blog for now. I don't think it's helping you. It could be a hindrance to you, especially since it doesn't show any real content. In terms of this, I think this page is clean. I think your homepage does a good job as well. You might even just clean up a few parts here and there just to make it a little bit more stylistic. Again, remove anything that mentions the blog post till you have written blog post content. And I would recommend writing blog content just to help with SEO. It is one of the longest running helpful tools that you can utilize for search. Something I wrote maybe a couple months ago. When I look for something in similar, I'll see me come up. So just something I would recommend. It'll help. It'll help a whole lot. But overall, not a bad website. Make sure people know where you're located at. That's the biggest thing. You got it right here. So just make sure it's mentioned in other places just for SEO purposes. Okay? Like right here could be a good spot too. All right, let's jump over to our last website for today. Let me take a sip of water real quick, just a moment. Okay, so we have Kittleman Photography. Got a rotating banner here. We got a large stack of different galleries. We got a video down here. So when we're looking at this homepage, there's not much details about the who, what, when, where, and why about your business. These are just details I definitely would recommend for anyone to have on their homepage. As we look back at the previous one, at least we know, location. There it is. Where, the who, the what. You got to have all those types of beats in there because this is how Google looks at things, and it also helps with clientele. When they come to this website, they might be on the other side of the country wanting to hire you, and then they can't, right? So you want to make sure those details are written in there to make it easier for clients at the end of the day. So I come here, I'm like, okay, I'm guessing that these are the types of photography that you do. Okay, where are you located? What is details about your business? Is there options? So far, I don't see that. So definitely recommend adding those details there just to make it a little bit more streamlined and also just make it a little bit more SEO friendly. All right, let's jump over to About Me. This is, like an image. I definitely would handwrite this, and the reason why, just to make it more searchable through Google. And add some call to actions. What do you like them to do next? You don't want to have a page with any dead ends, because when they have dead ends, that leads your client nowhere, right? So you can direct them where you want them to go next versus making a choice, because they could get lost. Every website can be like a maze, or it could be a complete ride. You want them on the rails, or do you want them to figure it out on their own? You have that choice as a website creator, business owner, and everything. So I come to this page, it's a gallery, fine art. I definitely think, okay, cool. Am I on the right website if you're in the idea of selling this work? Or are you saying you do this work for passion, for fun? You need to make sure those are clear right at the start, especially if this is the first gallery in your top menu and you're trying to book other clientele. And I'm gonna probably be seeing consistency for all these pages. There's not gonna be much details other than the work on it. Oh, we got a little booking. Whoa, got more gallery down here. All this is unnecessary. I definitely wouldn't keep any of that. That's, this is your stopping point. But we need to add some details about this type of photography. So if it's family-based, you need to add information about how families can book with you in your location, which so far I don't know where it's at. Yeah, so we need to make sure where you're located at, first of all. If I'm gonna take a hint, I might say Texas, maybe, I don't know. Make sure that's clear on these pages when people are searching for family photos in Texas, senior Texas, children Texas, etc. If this is Texas. We want people to know where it's at, okay? Yeah, Austin, boom. But this is in an image, so I wouldn't know that. So pretty much the same information for all these. I would make sure you have it written on the pages itself, add some information maybe about investment at the bottom, and add that booking option down below, or at least a call to action button that takes them over to a booking option. Sometimes the pages are consistent, sometimes they are not when it comes to if there's a form there or not. Looks like you restarted another gallery, you don't need that. You can just keep adding to a single one. Now if you're separating between the two, you should have a marker about it, so it doesn't just transition without any leads. You know, you want to make sure that's easy and understandable. And I would put those details on those pages. Okay, that's your, and then you have a fine art separate. So you got a gallery for fine arts and then a separate fine arts. Let's see, takes them over to a gallery to purchase. So I definitely would make sure that, first of all, that you have that call to action on this page, like purchase from, you know, fine art here, click, and it takes them directly over to there. That's step one. Step two, to let them know that you sell fine art. Otherwise they might get confused, and then they see it twice, they might skip over this one as well, okay? You might be able to say fine art, you know, store or something like that. Jump over to here. You have an expired event, so definitely want to remove that from your menu. Otherwise it can look broken to people searching. And Driftwood Acres is an empty page. So some things that I definitely would recommend is having details on this website. Currently right now, it acts like a portfolio from the early 2000s, but even then there's a lot of limited details. Your about information is a photograph versus written text, which makes it difficult for search. Definitely want to make those updates, make any type of text live. And when I mean live, that it's written on the website, not like added to the website through an image or anything like that. Just helps in the long run when Google is crawling your website. So Google's little robots will roll out to your website, read your website, and tell people about your website and see if it's engaging enough to show up in search. For the other pages for your galleries, definitely recommend putting details on each of those pages to make them more like landing pages. Those experiences that are, virtual for people to be able to purchase from or book with you directly from them. And then your fine arts, definitely recommend having a call to action on this page that drives into this page. Your horse show one I would hide, and this driftwood one I guess I would hide if you're in the work on it. But I definitely recommend for the homepage adding some details about your who, what, when, where, and why. We have this video here. I tried to play it, but it didn't want to play.
Grainger knows that if you're a school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Grainger for a range of cleaning products and equipment, from disinfectants to floor scrubbers.
More impressive at the end of the day. Otherwise, I think there's some good ideas here, but again, Becky, if you need any help, reach out to our team. Our team is here to assist you with anything. We have a lot of tools that are built in now that can assist you, such as our PhotoBiz AI. Just click the, write something, even if it doesn't feel right. It's kind of like, works like Grammarly or anything like that. It's going to help revise it and make it more believable for what you want the page to look like, especially when it comes to like, hey, write a welcome message here. Hey, I need something about the styles of photography I do. On this page, I need to make sure it's dedicated about the family photography I do, and so forth. All those types of elements can help really, really make you stand out and make it searchable for Google. And that means customers can find you, which is important. Okay, that's it for today. Let's take a look at some stuff that we've recently released. If you check out our blog.photobiz.com, you go over there, you can see what's new, February 2026. Over here, we had some cool stuff released. We have some brand new blog, new editorial and contemporary layouts. You can see we have these new stylistic visuals for your blog pages that make it feel more editorial at the end of the day, more visual. We also have some new layouts for websites, such as these list block items that have some cool effects. So you click on it, some information will scroll out of it. Looks really cool. Definitely take advantage of that. I think you're gonna love those little elements that you add to your website. We also have updated the e-commerce universal checkout, so it's got a little bit more stylistic choices to it. It's just been branded a little bit more for you, so it looks stylistically cooler. Definitely take a look at that as it goes out. So those are brand new features that rolled out in February. What else have we got going on? You can check out our blog.photobiz.com again. Right now, it's mini session time. Are you booking your spring minis? Well, guess what? We got a whole comprehensive guide on how you should set up your mini sessions, how you can utilize mini sessions as a great way through your website to earn lots of money. And that's the important part, right? We are business owners at the end of the day, so we want to make sure that you're staying profitable. Well, guess what? We have a step-by-step process on what you need to do, from turning out your mini session concepts, to building a dedicated landing page, to online booking and collecting payments, launch with email marketing, and much, much more. So take a look at this article. I think it's going to be really helpful for you on how you can jumpstart your spring sessions right now as we enter March. And you can also see we have some other topics that are great, such as our SEO to AEO options. You can listen to our Focus Shift podcast during that time as well. If you don't have time to read this article, you can listen to this article. We've made it very easy for you to listen, learn as you go, even in your car. They're great to pop on. But it'll break down a lot of new evolving things such as AEO, which is going to be some really cool stuff that you need to know in the future when it comes to search. It's going to be AI-assisted answer engine optimization. What is answer engine optimization? Well, people ask questions more now versus just searching for things. So people might say, what's the best photography in my area? Are you showing up when someone asks that question from their computer? That's how this stuff's going to work. And we break down the differences between the two and how you can optimize for both. And there's some other great things that you might not know about, such as our 7 blog features that makes PhotoBiz a smart marketing tool. Again, I talked about it very, very much during this, how SEO is a friendly blog structure and how it's built for you. Simple editing makes it very easy to make for. And image first design means you're a photographer and people want to see photos. Make sure that you're doing that. But we talk about all the tools and features that you can utilize, especially PhotoBiz AI, when it comes to writing and assisting you with your content. And again, if you need any help, you can always check out our education.photobiz.com. We have lots of information over there. You can check out our upcoming events. We had a reschedule for today, but that went well. But next week, guess what? We're going to be talking about mini session workflow. So we're going to be talking more about that article in depth. If you're wanting to set up things, we're going to build everything live right then and there within that hour. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's going to be on Friday, March 13th at 1 p.m. And then on March 27th, we'll be doing another website review. So if you want to have your website review, please put it in the description. There is a form. Fill it out so you can have your website reviewed in the future. And if you need help right now, you can do our coaching services. It's a one-on-one assistance. It's one of our most popular services. You can check it out. Our design team can help you with design assistance, e-commerce, client gallery setup, marketing, forms and contracts, and SEO. Check it out. It's very affordable and it's really easy, and you're going to love it because it's one of our most popular services. I definitely recommend it. If you're just getting started though, you can always check out our on-demand videos tab. Here you can watch any of our videos when you get started, such as our quick start series, or you can watch our demos, which are available here. You can watch anytime as well for each individual product and how to set those up. All right, that's pretty much it for today. I want to thank you all for coming, and thank you all for understanding the rescheduling. I was under the weather on Friday, and I'm glad to be here today. So if you prefer Wednesdays, let me know. That way we can update our schedule as well. Or we'll keep it on Friday till then. So let us know in the comment section, what do you prefer? Wednesdays, Fridays, or a different day? All right, I'll see you next time, everyone. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week and stay productive, and I can't wait to see what you build next.